Now, I'm going to start off just very quickly going into what's been happening into the market. Someone's asking, why do you think Soros has sold gold and silver recently? I'll go into the technical reasons for some of these reasons, for some of these questions. But let me just quickly give you a kind of overview as to what's happened. Gold and silver has obviously corrected quite sharply. Gold specifically having reached all-time highs at 1577.57, and silver, I'll just quickly jump silver, has corrected from a level last seen at the 1980 peak, which, as you all know, is near the $50 psychological level. Now, going back to gold, I just want to highlight that notably the DeMark indicator, which basically, for those of you who might not be aware, it measures exhaustion in momentum. So it looks for the end of a trend. Here you can see that on the weekly chart of gold, which was held within this very strong multi-year bull channel, there was a strong sell signal that came up on this particular indicator right at the top of the ceiling of this channel. So that was a key indication to me that gold was potentially reaching an upside exhaustion area. In addition to that, of course, we have the 1600 psychological level, which is just above. So that added a confluence of reasons as to why you might want to be cautious on being long gold or potentially think about taking a short position. So I've just written it just down here for those of you who like to kind of read some of what the points that I'm discussing. DeMark exhaustion signal near multi-year bull channel, 5% correction from the all-time high at the moment, and the all-time high was, of course, at 1577.57. The key support levels, I just want to quickly highlight Fibonacci support levels, and this is for the rise from January this year up to the peak. The Fibonacci support levels are 1474, that's 38.2%, 1442, that's the 50%, the halfway mark, and 1411, that's the 61.8% retracement. Now, 1411 is key for me as to whether gold signals a reversal of this trend or just continues sideways and then pushes back to all-time highs. So keep in mind 1411 is critical if you're wondering whether gold actually reverses in the short to medium term or if this is just a mild consolidation before a move higher. Now going back to silver, I think this is actually the more important market to be watching, and I'll times during my presentation. Now the key thing here is that silver has had an impressive gain on the upside, and as I said before, it's reached 1980 spike high levels near the $50 mark. Now it's done that in a very fast and impressive way. Just as fast as it rose on the upside, it is now falling dramatically on the downside. And one of the key things I've highlighted here is that silver has dropped 28% in just 4 days. 28% in 4 days. I'll say that one more time. 28% in 4 days. So that's obviously the high volatility characteristics of silver, which of course acts as a high beta to gold. Now, the signals that I was looking at during this time, although by no means was this a simple signal to follow, there have been various exhaustion signals along this way which have failed. The signal that has so far worked is a monthly DeMark exhaustion signal on the silver chart. So you see here, this chart here, just when we hit the $50 level or thereabouts, we had an exhaustion signal number 13 on the DeMark 6. That's an exhaustion signal on the monthly chart. Also on the daily chart, we had another indication of an exhaustion, and of course that was below the $50 1980 spike, and that led to the correction. Now, the key support level here is just one that I'm going to highlight, and that is 35.3364. That's the 61.8% retracement of the entire 2011 uptrend. So if we break below 35.3364, that implies that silver has lost almost 2/3 of what it has made since the uptrend starting in January. Is that clear to everyone? So if silver moves below 35.3364, that implies that silver has lost almost 2/3 of what it has made since the start of this year. I'm just reading a question here. Should we follow sell signals in this moment, in this market, or is this momentous? I would say, I mean, first of all, the trading decisions that you make is really down to you. It's a decision that you need to make according to your risk profile and your money management mandate, i.e. how much risk reward are you willing to take and how much money are you actually investing or trading with. But from an educational standpoint, I would say silver is actually producing a pretty bearish signal at the moment. Keep in mind this is a monthly chart, and this monthly chart had a very strong sell signal, which is still active. Also, if you look at candlestick signals, this is a bearish month, which is almost engulfing the previous month of April. And I'm just going to move on swiftly because there's a lot of information to cover. Now, the most impressive chart you will likely see this year, and maybe in the years to come, is the one that you're looking at right now. This is a long-term chart of silver going back to the late 70s. Some of you may have seen this. This is a chart actually I used to look at throughout my career. The one frustrating thing is I never looked at it actively to kind of think about the potential projection on the upside. But this is what we call in technical analysis a beautiful chart. And a beautiful chart in technical analysis is anything that shows some type of symmetry. And here you have basically the 1980 spike high when the silver market was manipulated and silver shot up pretty quickly, but then also capitulated quite sharply as well. Now, that entire capitulation then develops into what everyone now knows as a long-term base formation. There's this very long-term accumulation phase, which actually dropped below $4. Silver dropped below $4 around 1991 and 1993. And of course now, as all of you know, has now shot up to $50 back to the 1980 spike high. So I've drawn this dashed line in the middle just to kind of make the point to you that this very beautiful chart acts as a kind of a textbook and realistic symmetrical kind of base breakout. So someone's just said the Hunt brothers. Yeah, it was the Hunt brothers that actually cornered the market in 1980 and manipulated the price to create that spike. Of course, there are different reasons as to why silver has reached these highs at the moment. And actually, there isn't enough time to cover that, but I would urge that everyone think about the demand-supply dynamics in silver. If you look at the what silver is used for on a day-by-day basis, it has a huge industrial usage in semiconductors and various other things that we use within computers and many other technology areas. And also the whole speculation side of silver has increased somewhat aggressive.